Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I am going over this subject because this was a quote that I saw on one of my friends' pages today. Because you know I'm a quote girl. I love things that resonate and make me think. And this quote said, "The problem is not your friends showing up for you. The problem is you still keep calling them friends." Ooh. That's brutal. That's really brutal. This is something that I've definitely dealt with personally, where you think that there are certain friends that haven't shown up for you, haven't really supported you in many situations. And you feel like, man, people are not showing up for me, or the people that you thought were going to show up for you have not. And I will tell you, that has happened to me so many times where people that I expected would support, whatever it is, whether it was professionally, personally, whatever. And they didn't. And then the most unlikely people who I never thought would ever support in a million years come through. You definitely cannot judge a book by its cover, good and bad. Sometimes the person on the outside seems like they're everything. They're it. This is, this is the one. This is just it. And then it turns out that they really weren't. You thought you had the great employee and they came on the job and then somehow they didn't work out. You thought you were in a relationship that you thought that, yes, everything, connecting, whatever. And then it turned out to go bad. So it happens in every part of your life. Business partners that you thought would be amazing to collab with, and then it turns out that it was actually the most horrible decision that you probably made professionally. These things happen in every facet of our lives. They really do. And on the flip side, sometimes you will have somebody quietly in your corner and you have no idea. And I have said this before, that you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching your journey and supporting you from afar. You have no idea. Some people will come out and support you and you didn't even know they were even watching what you were doing, So I have been in both situations on both sides where somebody who I thought was going to be really supportive turned out not to be, and then someone who I was even more of an acquaintance than even friend turned out to be a massive supporter and still a big supporter today. So don't get too bogged down with what friends aren't supporting you, because you know what? Your friends are not even your first, as far as this goes with entrepreneurship, I'll take it back to that. Your friends are not even your first customers. Your friends and your family, they're not your first customers. Your friends and family, they may spend money in the beginning because they just kind of want to support you out the gate, but then you get mad because people drop off or whatever. Look, let me tell you something. Friends and family are not obligated to buy anything that you're selling, they're just not. And I know people say, oh, but they should support just because it's family. Some people are just not interested, and you can't take it personally. You just can't, There are many ventures that my friends have been into. I tune in and tap into the ventures that resonate with me, Now, if it's going to an event for their launch event or whatever, absolutely. But if it's a product that I'm really not going to use, or a service that I'm really not going to use, I'm not going to purchase and use a product or service just because, my friend has it, especially if it's something that I really don't need, But I will definitely support in the way that if I know someone needs that service, or I know that someone needs that product, I will absolutely pass their name along. That's a lot of how I support. Or if they are starting their business and they're trying to raise money, hey, I'll throw in some cash in there, to help them, whatever, if I'm able to do it at the time. Absolutely. I'm always down for a cause and to help a cause. However, even if it's retweeting or reposting, I repost people all the time who I just feel are just amazing at what they do. And I don't feel any kind of way about it. I don't feel like, even if they do something similar to what I do, your personality may resonate differently with somebody else. There's plenty of people that do branding. There's plenty of people that do marketing and social media stuff or whatever. They're everywhere. But I know that my clients resonate with me for some reason. They take to my personality and I take to theirs. So you have to find a good fit, and I say it all the time. There's a million lipsticks out there, but Fenty still came out with the new stuff. Maybelline's going to come out with some new stuff next week. L'Oreal is going to come out with some new stuff, and it's going to sell because there's room for everybody, right? So don't get discouraged when you see when it seems as if friends are not supporting. People support when they can, when they want to. That's on them, and you can't take offense to that, But if you see that sometimes, no matter what you do, there's the lack of support there, don't get upset. Just reevaluate the people in your life. Maybe they're really not friends. Maybe they're acquaintances. If you haven't talked to them in a long time and you really don't, keep in touch and you're not connected on Facebook or anything like that, maybe they're more of an acquaintance than a friend. And we have to put people in the spaces, where they fit. And some people will be demoted and some people will be promoted. That's really the bottom line, So don't take it to heart. I've been on both sides of this, and it can be very discouraging and it can be hurtful. But, God has a plan for everybody, and what is for you is for you. And I said this in a podcast a few episodes ago. What God has for you won't pass you by. It may not happen right now when you want it, because it may not be the right time, but it will come to you eventually. All right. So you guys, I am signing off. I'm catching up on these episodes. We are 2 days out from the end of April. Can you imagine? It's crazy. So I'm making up some of these episodes, and but I will check in with you again. If you want to follow me on social media, please do, at Onyx Queen Media. And if you want to tag me, follow this podcast, tag me about this podcast, especially on Instagram, because I will repost you in my stories as a shout out. All right. Pass this podcast along to anyone, especially entrepreneurs, small business owners that can use some encouraging words and some truth seeking. Is that what it's called? Truth seeking. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.